Well, hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is the Bruce City Rider coming at you with my very first knife review. Now, if you guys landed on this page because you're looking for information on the particular knife I'm going to be talking about today, just to let you know, I'm a Southeast Wisconsin harley-davidson motovlogger, and I put up pretty regular videos on bike maintenance, bike rallies, motovlogs, gear reviews, that type of thing. But as I mentioned in my last video, I'm also into budget knives, both folders and fixed blades, and I'm going to put up an occasional knife video. Okay, so I've been in the market for a kind of a do-it-all survival type knife. I do a lot of camping and do a lot of work in my yard. I got a rather large yard, and I'm always doing something with wood processing. So I thought it would be handy to have a nice big kind of do-it-all survival type knife. So I did a lot of research, and my parameters were at least a 7-inch blade, less than $100, and something that can do it all. So here's what I ended up getting, guys. Right here, the Schrade SCHF 52. Got it off of Amazon for roughly $37. It's a 7-inch blade, almost a 1/4 inch thick. I'll go over the details when I go down to the table here. So I'll get the camera set up and I'll bring you down to the table. Okay guys, I got you down on the tabletop here now. So again, this is the Schrade SCHF 52, also called the Schrade Frontier. They also make this in a shorter model, I think a 5-inch blade. So I'm going to go over the specs on this. This is a 7-inch blade from tip to lower handle scale. The cutting edge is from here to here is 6 1/8 of an inch. The blade thickness is just under a 1/4 inch. It's 0.22, and it is most importantly a full tang design. As you can see, it runs all the way through the handle, ending in this nice hammer pommel here. I was going to say the blade doesn't start thinning out towards the tip until the last 5/8 of an inch, so it's got a pretty stout tip. It's Teflon or some type of coating on it. The earlier models had a rough kind of like truck bed liner coating, which made it not good for slicing into things because it was rough, but this is very smooth. Now these coatings are put on there on this blade and blades like it because this is 1095 high carbon steel, so it will rust if you don't take care of it. That's the one downside to carbon steel, but it's really no big deal. You just, when you're done using it, just wipe it off and rub a oily rag over it, or what I do is I take my CLP gun cleaner, any cleaning, lubricant, protective spray will work, or you could even use WD-40 or 3-in-1. Just put some on a rag and just wipe it over the blade, and then put it away, and you're good to go. This type of coating does wear off. I put this through some pretty hard use so far, and you can see right at the bevel here, it has started to kind of wear off. It's got a nice big, what I call world-class choil here for up close work. You can get easily get anybody can get their finger on here, and even a glove finger. It's nice and big. You can get in close and do some fine work like feather sticking or carving. It's got a TPE handle, which is basically a rubber handle. Super grippy, and it's got some excellent circular type pattern on here. and it's attached at 2 points on both sides with a hex head screw. It's got this parrot beak handle end here, which really locks in your hand if you're doing some chopping. Your hand's not coming off of there. And then it's got a nice finger guard up here, so it's not going to go forward either. On the top you got some nice section of mild jimping and some nice chamfered sections on the handle right here. So in all my use of this knife, I can tell you that there are 0 hot spots, which is important if you're doing some long-term projects or use out of it. So it's, you know, a lot of chopping, that type of thing. Okay, so this is a saber hollow ground blade. So it comes down flat from the spine, straight down, and then there's a slight convex grind coming in to the end of the blade, the sharpened end. They say a regular saber grind is a little better for a survival knife because it's a little more robust. But this slight hollow grind on this particular Schrade doesn't seem to negatively affect it because it is such a thick blade. 0.22 inches, as I said. The blade, at least on mine, came working sharp. In other words, sharp enough for anything you're going to really be using this blade for. I don't know if I would call it hair shaving sharp, and no, I'm not going to shave any hair off my arms like you see some of these guys doing. But it's very sharp. Even after using it to process some wood, it's still very sharp. And you can see there's no nicks or marks of any kind on the blade end here. So I'm going to work in some footage of me processing wood, actually from yesterday. You'll see me doing a variety of things because I want to give you, show you some action shots so you see it actually in use. It performed brilliantly. I'm very happy with it. Now, I'm not a survivalist, I'm not a bushcrafter, I'm not even a prepper, although I lean towards the prepping side. I'm mainly just a knife enthusiast who does a lot of work in his yard, a lot of camping and hiking, and a blade like this is going to come in real handy. Obviously, it's also a great protective tool. So here's the box it comes in. Nice big lime green and gray Schrade box. And then this is the sheath that it comes with, if you can see that. It's a ballistic nylon sheath with a Velcro piece here where you can put it on your belt without having to take your belt off, although it's easier if you do. A nice big flap with a snap. It's got a couple eyelets here if you want to put some paracord through there and tie it down to your leg. It does come with some, it's kind of a cross between paracord and a shoelace, so I just took it off. And then in this pouch here, it's got a nice rubber, not rubber, elastic band to keep this stuff tight, but it does come with a ferro rod, fire steel, a striker, and a sharpening stone, diamond grit sharpening stone. So these, I should have mentioned, this 1095 steel, one of the big advantages to it is not only is it tough, but it's very easy to sharpen in the field, and it will hold an edge fairly long. But all you need is a little device like this, or even a smooth river rock. Basically, very easy to touch up in the field. Big advantage in a survival knife, as opposed to a stainless steel or one of these super steel knives that cost hundreds of dollars. I should have mentioned that on the inside, I don't know if you can see that, there's a plastic insert that the knife actually slides in. So that's a nice touch. And I do want to show you that This 90-degree spine does work on a ferro rod, so you don't actually need to use this striker. See if I can get this on camera here. See that? Works beautifully. Alright, I'm going to roll in some footage here and we'll finish this out. Okay, I had this brush pile that I made the other day. I trimmed a couple trees, and I'm just showing some chopping capability on about a 3/4 inch branch. Now I've moved up to about a 3-inch piece, and I'm going to chop through it. I'll speed it up at some point, but I do want to show you the whole process here. So I'm doing basically a V-cut, and the blade with that parrot's beak on the back of the handle is staying securely in my grip, not an issue at all. I'm not feeling any vibrations coming through with that nice rubber handle. And here we're almost through. And now I'm showing you the finished product. Alright, next I'm going to do some stabbing and do some tip testing here. So I'm stabbing and twisting and bending using the tip. And as I stated earlier, on this drop point blade, the tip is very stout. It only thins the last 5/8 of the top of the blade down to its point. So I'm stabbing and twisting, and no issues. Alright, now I'm going to make a spike out of this 3-inch piece of wood here. And again, I'll show you the whole process, but I will speed it up at some point. And it's making just nice clean cuts, making easy work of this. I probably should have done this on a smaller piece, but anyway, this is what I grabbed. So yeah, you see it makes pretty quick work of this pretty thick branch here. If you were in need of a heavy-duty spike for something out in the field. And here we're just putting the final touches on the point. And there she is. Alright, now I'm going to use that nice big choil and choke up on this blade, and I'm going to do some feather sticking. Now this piece of wood is green and not really the ideal wood for doing this, but as you can see, it is doing it with no issues. Of course, this is a common task, whether you're out camping or backpacking or on some type of survival trip, making wood tinder to get your fire started. This stuff will take a flame real nice, or a spark. Alright, now I'm showing some chopping into a big old piece of oak. You can see the whole blade gets buried in there. Now I'm going to do some stabbing tests. And look how deep that thing's going in there. I was actually even a little surprised as I was doing it. It's just sinking into that piece of wood. Alright, here my camera had shut off, but I had batoned off that piece of wood that I'm showing right now. Now this is a knotty, kind of gnarly piece of honey locust, which is a super dense wood. It's also got knots in it, so basically an awful piece to baton with, but I just want to show you its capabilities. It's not an issue at all for this thick blade to go through this. And whether or not you choose to baton, that's your call. The experts will argue about this all day long. to baton or not to baton. But personally, I think it's a good skill to have, and you may need to do it someday. So to me, any survival knife worth its weight is going to be able to easily baton. And now I'm showing the knot on that piece. You can see how once it broke through the knot, the wood just split, and there's the knot on the other piece. All right, that's enough of that. So to finish this up, the blade performed beautifully. Again, it's my choice for a top budget survival knife. A couple other good options that I was looking at are the Becker BK7 and BK9. However, that's a thinner blade and the handle material is not as grippy. But on the upside, they're USA made. So anyway, there you have it. Good luck with your choice. CR out.